They let me do what I had to do.
I want to say something before we get underway about the tape never lies. Okay, so I know that there's a million, no, there's a billion podcasts and a lot of people talking about NFL and talking about the Bears. But let me just say that you really, if you are a viewer of Tape Never Lies, don't go anywhere else. Come right here.
With the announcement of the first pick of the night.
With the first pick. Taking his time all day to throw it. Buys more time. Side on. First pick. First pick. Nothing. Williams. First pick. First pick. First pick. Here goes Caleb Williams. First pick. Touchdown.
The history of Bears quarterbacks discussed. It's been a long time since Sid Luckman. For 30 years, that was something I could stand by. Now let's get a guy who can elevate the franchise. And with the ninth pick, it's all about the right fit. Opposite of Montez Sweat, who would I get? Like Latu, what a verse might slip. Trade back, recoup capital and find hits. Build trenches, add more weapons. Development is a return on investment. Mock drafts only add to the questions. Do we start addressing the lack of protection? What
Bringing that light.
And what a shame, say the tape never lies. So now that we're on the same page, the next phase all begins with the draft. I see
it's gonna take the North and never give it back.
And Caleb is looking for just about anybody. This is where he really is devastating. When he starts becoming a maestro. Look out! There he is!
This time he goes back shoulder. Odunze gets out of there and then pounded to the ground. Fire going deep, and it is caught. Malik Neighbors touchdown.
Williams is bringing that light to Chicago.
Can't restrict him to tight end anymore.
Love Darnell Wright. We called that before the draft last year.
Yeah, you guys did. I give you credit for that. I sure did.
First pick, Rudy, first pick, first pick, first pick, first pick, Rudy, first pick, first pick, first pick, Rudy, first pick, first pick, first pick, first pick, Rudy, first pick.
With the first pick, the Chicago Bears. Yes, our Chicago Bears took Caleb Williams. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Not at all. Because, see, I am co-founder here at the Tape Never Lies Network, where everybody was in unison, including our amazing fan base. What a magical night. Something we haven't seen in the history of the Chicago Bears. A franchise putting football first again. Again, maybe since 1945 have they decided to put football first. The thing that drives me insane as we get ready and prepared to see a monumental presser is that George, Virginia, and the McCaskey family come from the guy who had a belief that pro football would be something bigger than the college game. And he was the most driven, competitive, fiery old bastard you ever could want. And that made the Chicago Bears special. He saved the Green Bay Packers. He fought through where these cities should be. And for years, we've failed epically, allowing Calculator Ted and company decide the fate of what transpired on the football field. And that's coaches and GM hires and everything that you guys know. But for me, just looking at last night, I saw even late at night with Shane and Ivan, a GM that's focused, frustrated, with the old cyclical, same old Bears bullshit. He decided to do something different about it. And for me, that's all I've ever wanted. That's all I've ever complained about. The Chicago Bears can't find what's right if it's right in front of their face. Sometimes, as Paul DeBastos is saying, someone's got to put a foot in your ass. Someone has got to go out of their way to say, put football first. Performance over politics. Right now, it's a new dawn, a new era of football here in Chicago. You fans are so blessed. Thank God for TTNL, for ESPN 1000 with Cap and Hood. Thank God you're not listening to a Lawrence Holmes and all these other guys trying to continue to go down this avenue of self-destruction. And I'm not talking about KRS-One. I'm talking about continue to be mediocre. If you fall on your face with prospects, that's to be expected. It's going to happen. You're not going to hit on every one. But when you see a resume, when you see a football player that's ready to bring something to your team that's never existed, never, a personality, a drive, a being beyond anything, then you get to the point where you're here. The meatball fans don't know shit. They're stands. They watch ESPN and listen to Mike Greenberg, for God's sake. Who doesn't know anything? He's more focused on tennis, for God's sake. How this stuff happens is very simple. The sheep. That's how it happens. Now, the Chicago Bears are about to introduce the foundational piece of your franchise. The most important position in all of sports. We have been talking about it. Cap. Shane and myself with the chase greatness. Why can't we have nice things? That's where we are. I live it. I breathe it. My wife, I am so lucky to have her because she supports me in this greatest game in the world. The one where all those soccer players in high school now wish they played football. All those baseball kids that, I'm going to play AAU and I'm going to, all of them wish they had played football. Experience what a Friday night light game is. Maybe to get to the pro or college. This is where the Chicago Bears are. And we're about to see it right here play out on the big stage in Chicago at Hallis Hall. Look at this. The two of them standing up there for a photo opportunity as they get ready. I mean, these two wanted each other. We're finding out more and more information. I heard Brett Coleman talk about Caleb knowing he was going to be a Bear for about 2.5 months, like we had told you. And here he is.
Hey, everybody.
How are you, Caleb? It should be just me and Caleb talk. That's what it should be.
How does it feel? Feels great. Since it's the first day, getting the taste of what it's like here. Every time I've been here, though, it's been except for when I came in high school, just to visit Chicago. But it's been last time I was here, it was snowing. Today it's raining. I thought we were gonna bring the sun today. I guess not. But no, it's been great. Really excited.
Different personality,
really happy,
confidence.
and not only to be
You
here
just
with my
know
family and stuff,
a
but
quarterback that can lead has that.
Odunze at number 9. It's pretty sick, right? So really happy, really excited, ready to get going.
Caleb, you said many times in the draft process that you wanted to land someplace that cared about ball,
Yep.
that was passionate about it. In the last 24 hours, what kind of perception have you gotten of how the city feels about football and your arrival?
Yeah, I would say the easiest thing is because we have stats on it is this past, Fanatics, I guess, I believe
Yes,
it was.
the
It
most
came out
sales.
that I passed up Caitlin Clark's record, which is I end up, reposting and saying, well, I guess that's Chicago for you. So that's probably my answer to that is all the love and support is strong. I've heard about it. And so to get it, to get some of that love and support that early is really awesome, really excited.
Caleb, you've had a lot of attention on you throughout your amateur career.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
think
the
about
highest
all
selling
of that
rookie
ratcheting
jersey
up
in
now, the
one
attention,
night
the
in the
pressure, the
history of
scrutiny,
professional
being in the
sports.
NFL and being here specifically?
I would say just do my job.
I also
Don't focus on all
purchased
of that.
a jersey
I'm
for
always going to have
myself.
scrutiny. I do things like I paint my nails. I'm always going to have scrutiny over that. I
Look at this dude.
wear funky clothes and things like that. So,
Transparent.
just do my job on the football field, win games. I
You
think
got it.
you win a bunch of games here. You'll make a lot of people in majority happy. So.
We heard from Ryan Poles yesterday in the video of your guys' interaction that he had to
I
wait
wish
5
Pepe
minutes to turn the pick in.
Yeah.
It's Steve and Ivan over there.
Months.
Yep.
What was that anticipation process like in getting ready to be drafted by this team? Did you envision just like all of this and what was going to come with it in your draft day?
Yeah. So I watched the Bears a little bit more than I ever have. Leading up to this moment throughout the season. So the anticipation part, I've been waiting for that day yesterday. And now that it came true, I'm excited. But I got a couple other goals to hit over the next few years. So I'm excited.
Caleb, does it go through your mind at all that there might be growing pains as a
Mark
quarterback
Grody
in the NFL, or do you not even think about that?
I don't think I think about it, to be honest with you. I think about just doing my job, handling the things that I can handle. Dealing with the small things, holding everybody accountable, and everybody holding me accountable. Showing up to work every day, ready to go, and to have fun doing it. If growing pains do come around, it happens with a lot of players, and so you deal with it in that moment, and you handle it. But I don't think about it.
Along the same lines, Caleb.
Go ahead.
I don't think about failure.
You talk about your clothes. Is that when you say that you're comfortable in your skin?
Yes.
At least we can
Yes,
hear the questions today, Ivan.
When I wake up in the mirror, or when I wake up and go in the mirror and look at myself, I'm comfortable with that man that's looking back. I know
And if
who
you
I am.
weren't,
I know what I
you're
like.
probably not
I know
ready
what I
to
like
play
do.
quarterback.
With that, I work hard and I enjoy what I do. So I'm very comfortable with who I am, and that's how I go about it.
Along those growing pains,
That should happen. Justin Fields is not here anymore.
A lot
No.
of people kind of try to temper some of those expectations, not as an indictment on your ability, but just to kind of manage some of the pressure.
Their stream is getting so busy, it's flickering.
What's the reason to duck? It's here. There's no reason to duck.
Sorry, Herb.
Top defense we had last year. Special teams, all the new.
You're not going to
whatever,
stump this guy because he's honest.
Here. So I'm excited. I know everybody's excited. The Bear fans are excited from what I've heard and seen.
Oh, we're excited, bro. The real ones are.
Attack it, head
Trust
first.
me. The ones that like to live in euphoria
Mhm.
and want winning, the ones that want to live in misery are upset.
You've gone. You have the confidence that you are the best. Do you come in here expecting to be great right away?
Why wouldn't
why
I?
wouldn't I?
Are we step for step? I mean, why
obviously,
would?
but that doesn't mean that affects your greatness. There's trials and tribulations that you go through. Why would I go?
Their video
years,
is so.
in every situation that I go to.
It's raining over here.
Yeah, so.
If I'm that, that doesn't mean that I go around and boast. Doesn't mean that I go around and say that. But the way I handle my work, the way I
Caleb,
carry
man,
myself every day.
You already won,
treat
bro.
my friends, families,
Just by the
teammates,
first two
faculty,
answers, you won.
The executives here, the custodians, whatever the case may be, treat everybody, as they are. We're all equal, and everybody should think that they're the best when you do things and you work so hard for stuff.
Caleb, you talked the last couple of Hayes, about all
I
the
love
hard work
this
you put in
dude.
growing up and to get to this point. How much of that was innate and just part of your personality, and how much did you have to learn?
I think it's a process. I would say most of it you have to learn.
You have to grow
I
up
don't
and
think
learn
anybody's
these things.
born, with those things. You have to
Exactly.
learn and you have to work towards them.
What are
And
these
you have to have
questions,
people
man?
around you, that are going to tell you right from wrong, whether it's your family members, mentors.
Can you imagine
friends,
some of these assholes
and things
not
like that.
liking this guy
And then,
before they even knew the guy? That's the crazy thing. Same with their press feed.
actual physical trait of what you do, or whether it's actual
Try to
something
see
like
if
leadership and things like that. So,
ChicagoBears.com, Ivan has a
handling it
better.
in those ways.
Maybe
Through those kind
YouTube
of
is
work for
just
it.
overwhelmed.
Caleb, we saw the video message that your mom sent you last
Oh
night.
yeah,
What
he
was it
saw
like
it
for you watching that?
and he
Yeah,
cried.
my mom is in here tonight. Over here.
Oh my God, they can never get it right.
Tough family. We don't necessarily give too many, congratulations and moments like that. Because you get to live every day, and you're grateful. You're working towards something, and so to have this moment,
Doing it over there too, Ivan, or
and
better?
be a Chicago Bear, of this, historic
Better.
family. We don't necessarily give too many, congratulations and moments like that.
Oh, it's doing it there.
Because you get to live every day, and you're grateful. You're working towards something, and so to have this moment, and be a Chicago Bear, of
Right.
this, historic, this team that we're building and things like that. So, for her to do that for me, 3 minutes.
Bears are like Claudio using the
33
Wi-Fi
seconds,
for dunking.
for her to record something like that, I heard she choked up a little bit. Also, it gets me, pretty emotional. I tried to hold back the tears.
I told everybody. Just looking at his mom, he loves his parents, man.
Caleb,
That's a good thing.
It's clear that the Bears have
He
known
loves
with you
them,
for a
and
while.
it's
So how much of
emotional,
this
man.
pre-draft process have you been able to actually start learning their offense with Shane and Carey?
None. Don't
I've
even go.
I've
You're
been
trying
on
to
phone
trip
calls
him
with
up.
them, building a relationship.
Who's this chick?
Just talking, and that's really been it. It's been a journey, and building these relationships.
Oh, that would
so
be
far.
illegal.
We got a long way to
They
go,
did?
but I'll be learning the
That
playbook
question is
here next
so
week.
fucking
I think they said Wednesday,
annoying.
Thursday,
Who was
Friday,
that?
something like that. Here coming up, so we're excited.
Caleb, how much of your role as a quarterback do you feel in game situations is to make your teammates better?
That's the role of a quarterback, sir.
Team on your back in crunch time and be the reason the Bears
How are
win.
we doing it? Look at his.
I wouldn't say that the QB position is necessarily to be the reason why the team wins. It's to be a portion of it. There's obviously
Maybe a 70% portion. They never
so
can
whether
do
it's
it
special
right.
teams is 11 people, and then on defense there's another 11 on the field, and so it's a team sport. But my reason to go
Oh my
out there
God,
is to
dude.
win games. My
Sucks.
reason why I play is to win games and win championships, and so I want to be a big portion of it. I want to go out there. I want to have fun.
I'm sorry. The last non-confident quarterback that won a Super Bowl still doesn't exist. I'm just letting you know that.
You're not phased by any of this. The cameras, the interviews, all this stuff. Obviously, it's going to get bigger.
It's the
and everything.
Chicago Bears
Right now, you
stream.
get that.
would say when you
It's happening both on the YouTube
spiritually
channel
for things like this,
as
for
well
moments
as
like
there.
this, when you actually are in the moment.
That's
You don't
Chicago
feel
Bears.
phased, you don't feel nervous, you don't feel the butterflies or anything like that. You're ready for it, you're prepared for it. And so, with that, and then the help of my support team, my mom, my dad, girlfriend, and team outside of actual football, and then actually the coaches and the people around me that
This looks like one of those old kung
mentors that
fu
help instill
movies.
all these things in
Talking
me, throughout time, whether it's me
with the
watching them or
overdub.
or them telling me,
Oh my God! Could someone pay the internet bill over there?
This is rough.
Is this happening in any other city?
This is a crazy look, though. I hope nobody screenshots it.
Oh my God, that's lunch with Larry.
That's exactly the look. Yes.
Look,
they
they had to take it down.
Yeah, they had to go down.
They're so, oh my God. We take 3 steps forward, then we take steps back. We blame McCaskey because the stream will continue momentarily. It's like when you're at Universal Studios and you're like right up to the Velociraptor ride, and then this announcement, I am sorry, we seem to be having trouble. This will be a slight delay. And you're like
When he
10
finds
feet
out that you're
from
going
it.
to be his teammate, what was that moment like
What the
between you
hell?
guys
Well, they
backstage?
skipped
when
Caleb all of a
it's
sudden.
like envision this, what you started a couple weeks ago with the workout, now becoming a reality.
Yeah, it's
It
kind of
was
surreal, you
gorgeous.
know, the little things, you know, before any of us knew how it was all going to play out, that happened before were kind of special to make that moment even more
Tell him,
special.
Doug.
because, You know, it actually came to fruition. So
Get some fiber
super
up there.
super excited, you know, to be a teammate of his and to be along this journey together. Something that's special and something hopefully when we're done with our careers we look back on as, you know,
Yo,
the first moment that we
Get
realized we were
George the
teammates.
AOL CD.
Have you heard from DJ or Keenan Allen since you got picked?
You've got
I
mail.
believe so. I think they've texted in the group chat that I was in when we did our workout, just congratulating us both. So yeah, those guys have already reached out.
Bro, when you played
Both of
against
these guys
Caleb,
just have a
you stood out
different
by this.
energy that is
Oh man, it was, you know, embarrassing to watch some of the things that he
refreshing.
was doing to our
Mhm.
defense. So you know, very special and a very unique skill set. You know, when you watch him play, there's things that he can do on the field that, you know, you don't see any
Totally
other
agree,
quarterback
Vody
doing.
the
So
Great.
he brings a unique skill set. And
He's
he's very
hyped
confident
up. He's
in the pocket,
happy.
very confident, you know, extending a play. And you know, the play's never over till, you know, the whistle's blowing. You know that.
Brian Pohl said that he was sweating it out, waiting, hoping to get you at 9. What does that mean to you? And were you at all sweating it out, or were you just going to be happy wherever you went?
I definitely had the mindset to, you know, be happy wherever I went. But, you know, in the back of my mind, you know, the Bears visit went tremendously well. And I came into this facility and the attitude and the effort that they put into my visit and to the conversations that we had was incredible. So, you know, I knew when that phone call came in that, you know, from Illinois that it was going to be the Bears, and I was
312.
super excited. So I'm happy he had that, you know, sweat to come get me as well. You know, you always want to be somewhere where
You
you're
thought.
wanted, right? So I want to be here. They wanted me here. And I think that's a good connection to have.
Rome, this
I
year,
thought Steve Edwards'
track of
internet
where
signal was
coaches saw
bad.
you kind of in the
Comcast
drafts
is
and
now
rankings,
messing up.
because you really seem to rise pretty regularly throughout the season as you kind of showed what you can do.
During the season, no, I really didn't. During the season, my number one focus was, you know, making sure I was there for my team and making sure, you know, I was, you know, fully prepared every week to help my
Gotta
team
be
win
prepared.
and go on that national championship run that we
Rome
did.
wasn't
So
built in a
during the
day,
week,
Ivan.
no, but, you know, through the off season, working towards the combine and all those different things, I would look at it every now and then, but I don't put any validity into the draft because, you know, they've never been fully correct. So you never know how it'll work out.
How do you feel about this conversation?
What do you?
Well, I understand. It's almost like kismet with you and the Bears because your first jersey was Urlacher.
She's throwing out Yiddish words. You're kismet with the
It's crazy. It really is. It's kind of surreal just because, you know, all those things are coincidences, right? But, you know, you start to think about it and it's like, man, is it really a coincidence? You know, you speak into existence, all these different things, these coincidences.
I was speaking
happen, and
this
now
into
I'm here.
existence
It just
too.
makes it that much more special. And, you know, it kind of seems like it was meant to be. So to be somewhere, you know, to have that history as it growing up, you know, going to the air show, Devin Hester being my favorite player. First jersey's a Bears jersey in Urlacher. You know, it's almost
You had
too
an
good to be true.
Urlacher and a Hester
Those
jersey.
conversations you had with the Bears,
He's a
that made you
Bears
feel
fan.
like this is going so well. This is such a great fit that you want to go here.
I feel like they truly did their research on me. Honestly, I think they really understand what I could bring to the offense and what I can bring to this organization. And when I was having those conversations with them, it wasn't like I felt, you know, they had missed anything about me and who I was as a person and who I was as a player. So I appreciated that. You know, I did my research as well on them. You know, knowing that you know who I was coming in with and who they were trying to get in the draft and who was already in the wide receiver core as a whole. So you know, I think we had that mutual respect for one another that created a great visit.
Doing
Brian,
your
I-
research on them,
Totally agree.
beyond
Both these guys are
this is a team that was
high
built to go
character,
on defense,
quality,
to see the
well
investment that they
spoken.
made
Their
yesterday,
personality is
and Caleb's
uplifting.
with you
There's a
what they're building
positivity.
offensively.
They're not me first
Feeling you
guys.
get coming into a unit like that.
Both these
Excited,
dudes
you know,
have
excited to
something
attack.
special.
Really, it really reminds me of all the key pieces that I had in college and the pieces coming together for the incredible seasons that we had. It really feels like that same feeling. Having so many weapons on offense, bringing in a guy like Caleb, which at the helm of it all, allows us to do so many different things. So I'm super excited for the attack mindset that we'll have on offense, the explosiveness that we can bring to any football field, and I think it'll be special.
How do you describe your experience last season with Washington of going on that climb and winning the Pac-12 and winning the college football playoff game and playing for the college football national championship? What was that journey like last season?
It was great. It was a lot of adversity, a lot of perseverance through some tough times, and I think through a lot of doubt as well. You guys are over here on the east side of the country, so I don't know if you guys were staying up to watch our games.
Midwest.
So a lot of people counted us out and continue to do so all the way up into the very last game. So we had that chip on our shoulders, knowing that the only thing that mattered was what was in that locker room and the effort that we put forward and invested in one another. So through a lot of that adversity, through that perseverance, we believed in one another, and I think that can take you a long way.
You mentioned, playing with some pretty good players in Washington. What did you see defense? How did you see defenses get stressed by the fact that you had other really good receivers? And if you thought about what that could look like this year with Keenan and DJ?
Absolutely. I'm stepping out of a very good wide receiver core into another.
Stepping into the light.
For me, it's very reminiscent of that exact same situation. And I think when you have a wide receiver core like this and a quarterback who can throw the ball anywhere on the field from any body position from anywhere on the field, it just creates problems.
He could lay on the ground and throw.
A lot of holes in defenses, and you have a lot of solutions for different coverages. So just having that availability and having wide receiver core that can out there and make plays.
I already love this interview.
Moment,
like
it's hard for any defense to completely game plan for that.
Do you enjoy the
I'm just pissed Caleb's got cut short.
Being part of the group that changes the perception or the reality of the Chicago Bears?
Totally agree, Sean.
Has been inconsistent at best.
I think they're going to be on Hard Knocks.
Do you like that idea?
Let's go to George McCaskey's house.
Definitely. I come from Seattle where people thought, how can you have an offense like we did, number one passing in the nation when it rains like that? And how can you compete through those conditions? And, people say it's cold and it's not the environment to have success out here in Chicago. And for me, I don't have that mindset at all, to be able to come in here and for us to do exactly what we say we're going to do. And that's have a lot of success on offense and put points on the board to win games and play team-oriented football. So we're going to play our part to a T on offensive side of the ball, and everybody's perception. I think.
Thanks, Chief C. Thanks for shouting us out, helping convert you.
Why? What is that? What did that mean to you? That moment, trying to get that straight.
I think for me, I had told everybody that I was going to finish the combine and I was going to compete in everything that I did. So when I was going through that process, they weren't giving me a time because they didn't say I was doing the drill exactly how they wanted it done. So to me, I wasn't leaving that field till I had completed every single task that I said I was going to complete. And that's just me as a man. I feel like I hold my word.
Number one wide receiver and number one quarterback ranked in the draft the Chicago Bears
every single thing
have gotten.
Combine, so I wasn't going to leave the field till I was.
So everybody should be very excited because that was done by the tape of these two football players. You saw, unfortunately, a little bit of Caleb Williams there, and it's unfortunate that the Bears, I don't know if their internet was overwhelmed with people, but the reality was in a little taste of what he brings to the table and the Chicago Bears, of his personality. And I know there was some serious Justin Fields apologists, some roaches as well, that just went out there to attack this guy. And I made calls. I talked to two of his teammates that played with him during this Heisman year. And all they said was, it's so misguided. It's so infuriating. I wish I could go on ESPN or whatever show and just tell these people you're doing a disservice to a great person. That's the most troubling thing. And I always said to those people like EJ and some of these fans that went out of their way to, oh, yeah, you don't think he's shaking hands with the janitor and those people that are cleaning up for show? I go, no, I just think that kid is built like that. He already knows how talented he is. If he doesn't, then he's not in the NFL. He already knows what he could do. Jay Cutler could give a shit about anybody. So your first place to go should never be in doubt. It should be in investigation. In, wow, that's something. Let's keep an eye on it. Is it real? But to go to doubt and anger and tear down, that it just didn't sit well with me at all. And that's where I won't let it go. I told myself, my wife, I go, what if that was my son? And he was that talented and that driven. And he's such a good kid. He stays out of trouble. He's done nothing wrong but get paid by Dr. Pepper and major corporations because they recognize that this kid's personality, on top of his athletic talent, if Tiger Woods wasn't a good golfer, he wouldn't be getting notoriety, right? He proved it. Same thing with every athlete you could think. Caitlin Clark, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, Walter Payton. They have to work at it. You have to be confident. You don't need to be torn down. And I think it was very difficult for fans to even stomach the thought that somebody can improve you as a rookie coming in, that couldn't happen. And in football, it completely could. And the funny thing was, CJ Stroud was going and doing it with a worse team in Houston than we had here in Chicago and was going to do it there. So it happened right in front of the faces, and still you're looking at a guy that's talking eloquently, honestly, and like he's a veteran, like he's a captain. And when you see that as a football guy, you just go, wow, the sky's the limit. And then you listen to this kid, Rome Odunze. Shane shared that story. ESPN did a great job of behind the scenes NFL journey with Rome Odunze about his grandfather growing up on a farm, his mom and his siblings, and what he did on tape there. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And the reality of what we got, Ivan, is going to be seen on Sundays. And I can't thank it enough. I can't be more happy.
No, absolutely. It was just people reaching, Phil. I wonder if these rumors were created by teams or people hired by teams to create rumors just to see if they could knock a player down a peg or two, maybe switch it up for another team. But nonetheless, every time the rumor, like Shane said last night, was challenged, it got fucking demolished. There is no rumors. There is no, negative about Caleb Williams. It's just created stories by people who either are trying to manipulate the draft, for other reasons, or just because you simply don't like the person because of rumors that you've heard. Like, people listen to ESPN, people listen to some of these other people online, and they hear these things and they believe it. And you see, you see little clips of the lies and the rumors here and there, and then they start to take it all in, and none of it is true. But it happens all the time, and it happened to Caleb Williams. And I can't be more happy that we have a guy that's not, one, a leader. Two, he knows how to speak to the media in Chicago. He handled that pretty well. There was no tricking up Caleb Williams. And then on top of that, you heard the stories about what his teammates think about him, how they love him.
No, Richard, I wish we could all get along. It's unfortunate we can't. And if anybody's going to point a finger at TTNL, you're going to be wrong every time and bounced because we got attacked. Shane tells the story about this fucking dumbass. We won't even mention his name to give him any kind of notoriety. Nope. Wishing cancer back on his son. We have people calling us racist, calling us this. I will never forget this year and standing for the truth. I've always been the voice of reason. I would say 80% of people that are subscribers to TTNL and 100% of the patrons found it through my video breakdowns and my truth in analysis, right? So that's where I come from. And I will never change for anybody. I'm not going to let it go because I know what kind of person you are. You'll have to admit that you were wrong. You have to apologize for your actions. I went after Jared last night, holding him accountable, and he apologized. That's it. This guy doesn't deserve any folded arms. Well, now you got to, let's see, can you win a championship? That's not how it works. You have to have patience. You have to recognize the process and trust it. But to watch the two of them speak to the media, watch the Bears plan this. They knew they were trading Justin Fields in November. They made this decision. They knew what I was showing you was the truth. Yes, they do watch TTNL. It's been confirmed several times. The reality is I'm just showing you exactly what a football person should. It's just, it infuriates me because I just want what's best for the Bears. I root for what's right up on the front of the jersey, the Chicago Bears. I pull for the players. I want Khalil Herbert to be great. But Khalil Herbert has to decide, is he going to be great this year? He's got to decide, hey, I am going to come and work my ass off in the offseason and be so ready to put Swift on notice that they sign that. That's how Walter did it. That's how Tom Brady did it. That's how Michael Jordan did it. That's how the next guy did it. And you know what? Caleb Williams was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Without Caleb Williams, that USC team wins maybe 2 games. Maybe, I'm saying. It's the worst defense in the fucking country.
Well, they're averaging over 35.
He's playing too much hero ball. Okay, Orlovsky. Okay, let's pull. You bring your tape of Jaden Daniels in Arizona State. Show me how good he is there. I'll wait and watch his terrible decisions, interceptions all over the field. Guess what? Caleb threw 3 interceptions against Notre Dame. We did it live. 3. He threw 5 on the season. 5. Come on. Cutler threw 5 in a freaking game. That's what are we doing here? You're not listening. We've had some freaking patrons. I don't know. You don't know? In 5 hours of programming, you don't know? You think my father, myself, and Shane made the... Hold on. We're Steven Spielberg. Let's CGI Caleb being great. No, it didn't change. Guess what? He was better than what everyone's telling you in 2024, 23. He was better than you think he was. And you have him now. And if that's too much for you to digest, go to another show. There's plenty of guys that'll tell you bullshit, lies, and you could fall for that and be happy. I won't. I'm never going to lie. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first guy to admit that I was wrong about that. What Ryan Poles has done in this short of time should be applauded. Lauded. This might go down as the greatest trade in the history of the NFL. Trading that first pick for a first next year, DJ Moore, your first, and Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, and you still have another second round pick from that trade next year with 11 picks next year in your pocket. Could they trade up tonight? Yeah, they might. I wouldn't put it past them. We had a pop-up show with our patrons. I'm like, I won't, if they identify an edge rusher that they really like, they may pull the trigger on that. But I'll tell you this, we called this and told you this. We prepared you for it. We never flip-flopped. And you see guys like out there pretending they didn't say what they said. How you fall for that? Say you don't like me. That's fine. But I was right. That was in a human being. You know what? I might not agree with you all the time, but you know what? That's being a great fan. That's being honest. I would do the same. I would do the same. And that's where TTNL is right now. We keep it a buck. You want to talk about something else? Go talk about it somewhere else. It's like when we talk over the pressers. Guys, can you stop talking? I'm trying to listen. Good. Go. We're the only network that and show that will ever say, go somewhere else. None of those other networks are going to say that to you. They're begging for you to watch. Please, we need 63 views with our shitty takes. Clifford knows. What's up, Cliff? Known as Corky. You got to trust this guy. So the trade netted you. Hey, I forgot one piece, Cliff. The biggest freaking piece of them all. Over DJ Moore and all of them. Caleb Williams. Chase Greatness. The Chase Greatness campaign continues. Shane might be pulling for Tyson Bagent today, but I'm certain tomorrow he'll be ready. My son is already getting ready to change. He's going to wear number 18. Did you see my son's reaction last night to that? I mean, it was.
We're still hearing it, Phil.
I'm still hearing it. Shane actually sent me the clip, and he hit a pitch so high. I called the company, Yeti.
Yeah.
Blue. I was like, can you explain? And I couldn't record the call. I was trying to record the call because it was hilarious. They were like, if you hit a certain decibel pitch, it can totally take out the mic. I go, what? They're like, yeah, if you hit a certain pitch, it can take it. He hit the pitch, guys.
He hit the pitch.
He hit the pitch. Jerry Seinfeld, he hit the pitch. The kid hit the pitch. What can you say? He was excited. Shane has that video of it. Where did we go earlier? What brand were we in? Pop-up. Let's see if it's there. There's an image. Yeah, here it is. Here's Shane playing. This is Shane. He probably made it better, but that will be later tonight. I've never seen someone scream for that long. It just didn't stop. And I will tell you the truth. We were driving in the car when Justin Field was traded, and that was exactly what he did then too. But at least it was out the Santa Fe window. Chris Beckenfelder. What I like about TTNL is you guys are just putting content out there that is what it is. Not for likes, not for views, just for what it is on tape. What it is listen, I have several secrets. Don't tell everybody that, Chris. but you've cracked one code. He cracked the code.
He cracked the code.
He cracked. Are you a mudder, Chris? Can you run? Can you run in the mud? We're going to be live tonight covering the draft. The Chicago Bears are going to be on the clock in the third round. A trade up? I don't know.
I kind of hope so, to be honest. I think you could, or you'll be able to grab some quality talent if you're able to get into that second half of the second round, I feel like. But it's all a matter of what you're trying to give up, So I'm not trying to get fleeced, and I don't think Ryan Poles is the guy that is going to allow himself to get fleeced. So
yeah, he won't get fleeced. And listen, if the draft ended last night, that's it. We got 2 picks. Guys, I'm just telling you, those are 2 of the greatest additions you could possibly add to what it is you're doing with a young quarterback. There's no written in excuse. Well, I wish they had done this with Jay, or I wish they had done it with Justin. It would have been no. Justin was mediocre to below. That's the truth. That's the truth. There's receivers. Oh, I've done this tape. I'm not pretending I've done it. I challenged any one of those guys. Anyone. Bring Justin's tape. Show me. Show us. Show all of us. Because it just wasn't there. It was inconsistent. Guess what you get with inconsistent? Bullets knows. My guy Rick Riggs knows. Brian Crow knows. Isaiah Chuckwu knows. McLaughlin knows. You get with inconsistency, you get out of the league. You get out of the game. Whatever he wants with a visor. He doesn't have an issue seeing the field and anticipating. I just will tell you, as a coach and your quarterback's wearing a visor and they struggle with anticipation, the visor's not helping them. Just letting you know that. Caleb, every game, every rep, I've watched 8 times now, each. So count up the amount of attempts he's had. That's how many times I've had to watch and make sure, putting my name to this. When you say this is the best quarterback you've ever scouted and you scouted Hall of Famers, that I can't give a higher compliment. I'm not going to blow smoke. I stood by that and told you he's going number 1. You would have to be the dumbest, moronic idiot to not take him.
You were talking about it last year's and the previous year's draft.
Yeah.
Right? When we got, actually, I believe it was the day the Texans beat the Colts. Everybody celebrates Lovey, but it was that day when me and Shane were cheering. We were talking about it, and you had mentioned, hey, I would want them to trade this first round pick, but I would hope that they would get a first rounder, or get a first rounder, and they're able to get a first round next year for Caleb Williams. I remember that day clearly. So you've been on it before anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, I've watched this kid. I still remember the Super 16 poll, and Chris Zorich will be joining us tonight on our draft coverage. Talking to Chris, we were doing the Super 16 poll show, and it was the game where he replaced Rattler versus Texas. And I'm like, Chris is texting me like, are you fucking seeing this? And I'm like, the kid from Oklahoma? And he's like, yeah. Because we had thought, we saw Spencer Rattler on that Netflix doc, QB1. And here he is being a Heisman, number 1 Heisman candidate, Spencer Rattler was at that time. And here comes this kid. And I'm like, oh my God. And that game was amazing. And then I go to Chris. This is Wally Pipp. This is the story where this kid is just going to replace this dude. You think? I go, yeah. I go, there's something magical about it. I'll never forget it. We'll talk to Chris about it tonight. And then from there on, there was 2 weeks later, it was at Oklahoma. And I don't know if they were rotating, they bring Rattler in, and the whole crowd started chanting what Shane put into the clip. That's where he gets the chant from. We want Caleb. Pa, 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 pa. You can hear it on the TV broadcast so loud. That's Oklahoma. And then obviously he goes to USC and follows Lincoln, and the rest is history. Here we are on the precipice of greatness with you guys and you fans. I wish there was more of the presser of Caleb and whatever, but the Bears have been doing a good job capturing some good media and content. I haven't watched all of it yet. I didn't see the Joniak interview. And Pepe, I'll tell you this. This is why Lewis doesn't have a job in the NFL. Because of shit like this. When you sell your soul to promote someone else because you know their family and their agent and that kind of shit, people talk. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll never tell you who told me it. Several people. But if you're selling out like that, Lewis, you ain't going to get an NFL GM job. They'll interview as a courtesy, and that's why you've been passed up 8 times. Sorry, that's the truth. And I'm sure he's a good guy, but bro, you don't sell out like that. You do the tape work and you tell the truth, like have moral integrity. That's why they don't like some of us. Caleb plus Rome is the equivalent of Deadpool and Wolverine. Speaking of Wolverine, that's the perfect segue into this. I have not checked, but right now we are at $13,170.37. Tonight, we're really pushing. April 30th is the last day that we're keeping this open. And I'm telling you, the TTNL family and the heads, our football organization needs your help. Every dollar goes to these uniforms and equipment. This is a nonprofit. So we are putting everything into these kids. So if you have $10 you want to give, it's give.thetapeneverlies.com. If you could do that for our football program. And we are going to document the whole journey. I've been filming everything to give back to you all over the world. Japan has donated. Canada, England, Scotland, Ireland, Australia, Hawaii. Oh, they are part of this country. I'm sorry. It's that. But all of them have donated at least some. And I totally appreciate that. And I will shout you guys out tonight by name. Dan Orlovsky, he lives in my backyard. My father and I coached against him when he was a senior at Shelton High School. They came in ranked, and the line on the game was 40. There's no shot. That's like a no shot for us to win. We beat them by 12 points. So I know a fraud when I see it. Here it is. Chicago's #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, broke the Fanatics record for draft night merchandise sales for any draft pick in any sport, beating the previous record set last week. Listen, and the Caitlin Clark extravaganza was something big. You want to see the power of the NFL, the Chicago Bears, and Caleb Williams? This is just an hors d'oeuvre to what can happen when he starts winning here in Chicago. It is going to be bananas, as they say in Long Island. Well, we've done it all for now. We're going to step away, eat, wash up. I mowed the lawn today. Ivan had baby duty.
Mm-hmm. He put himself to sleep, which is awesome.
Well, you had him on your shoulder. That was great father technique.
Right.
That
right.
clicking motion.
Right. I had to use my left arm to use the mouse, which was a pain in the ass. But hey, I made it work.
I did not pay extra for him. He's like a hermit in the shed in my backyard right now. I've locked him in. No more Orlovsky takes. You know what Dan Orlovsky and Mike Greenberg should do? Get in a rowboat and start broadcasting in Florida about Florida sports only. That's what they should do with them. When Chicago AM 1000 goes to that point in the day where, okay, we're going to go now to Mike Greenberg, I just turn it off. I can't even listen to it. And one of my buddies works on that show, who I love. Can't even listen to it. So bad. I've never seen a sports person so completely aloof of anything.
I'll tell you this. I don't even listen to ESPN really anymore. Like maybe in passing.
You mean the show?
Television. Yeah. I mean, like, period. Like the entire network. I don't really watch.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't really watch anything on ESPN either.
Yeah.
I just listen to Hoodie and Cap in them every morning.
Well, I listen to the ESPN 1000, like the radio. Yeah, I'll listen to that all day. But like, that's TV wise, no.
So Caleb and Rome are on NFL Network now. You guys go check that out. I can't, and Coach Dre's with me. I can't listen to right after. They need to do something. You should put TTNL in Greenberg's spot, and I'm sure that will take off. Talking. I love Courtney Cronin. Yeah, as Steph from Hawaii is telling you. So I like the ESPN radio stuff. We can get into that another time, but Cap and Hood are the best.
100%.
Sorry, Waddle and Sylvie. Maybe move Waddle and Sylvie to the 12 o'clock spot. I would do other things there at that station, but I'll leave that later. But we will be back covering the draft tonight. We're going to have Chris Zorich, Matt Waldman, Kenneth Davis. We're going to get to meet our new music director, Max Ayo. Max Ayo, who did the open. I'm going to leave with the open and leave it out. Both Ivans will be free to hold cans and
There'll be a limited amount of beers tonight, guys. You're not going to get drunk Ivan tonight. All right.
Just sip. Just
the
sip.
I'll just be
It's like
sipping.
just
tonight.
the tip.
Yeah, just a sip.
Then let me do what I hired to do.
The pride he takes when he sits back is worth everything. Anyway, we'll be back tonight. Shane Marsaw, myself, Ivan, TTNL head, maybe Steve Edwards jumps on. Who knows? But I know Chris Zorich, Matt Waldman, and maybe Kenneth Davis later tonight. I reached out to Courtney. I'll see if she can stop in for 10 minutes, give her point of view. All our friends, we try to bring them on during draft time because it's the celebration time. It's Grown Man Christmas. And I hope you enjoyed this little pop-up presentation covering the Chicago Bears presser that they couldn't cover very well, Ivan, with their breakdown in the computer department.
It was rough.
It's always rough. It's always rough, but we'll talk to you later. Here it is, our new draft open, written and produced by Max Ayo. Check it out.
With the announcement of the first pick of the night.
With the first pick. Taking his time all day to throw it. Buys more time. Side on the first pick. First team nothing. Williams. First pick. First pick. First pick. Here goes Caleb Williams. First pick.
History of Bears quarterbacks discussed. It's been a long time since Sid Luckman. For 30 years, that was something I could stand by. Now let's get a guy who can elevate the franchise. And with the 9th pick, it's all about the right fit. Opposite of Montez Sweat, who would I get? Like Latu, what if Burst might slip? Trade back, recoup capital and find hits. Build trenches, add more weapons. Development is a return on investment. Mock drafts only add to the questions. Do we start addressing the lack of protection? What a
Bringing
still
that
say,
light
and what a
to the
shame.
play.
Say the tape never lies. So now that we're on the same page, the next phase all begins with the draft. I see
We're
us
gonna take the
taking
North and never give it back.
giving it back.
And Caleb is looking for just about anybody. This is where he really is devastating. And he starts becoming a maestro. Look out. There he is.
This time he goes back shoulder. Odunze wolves his gets out of there and then pounded to the ground. Are going deep, and it is caught. Malik Neighbors touchdown.
Williams is bringing that light to Chicago.
Can't restrict him to tight end. I mean,
Love Darnell Wright. We called that before the draft last year.
Yeah, you guys did. I give you credit for that. I sure did.
First pick, Rudy, first pick, first pick, first pick, first pick, Rudy, first pick, first pick, first pick, Rudy, first pick, first pick.